Okay, welcome 2022. Today I want to talk about a topic that I've actually have been thinking about for many years, and that is the artistic brain in love, or falling in love in general. My life has been basically littered with kind of relationships, or half-baked relationships, or relationships I wasn't really into, with girls I really kind of loved but wasn't able to give myself to, all of me. And it had led to a lot of sad stuff, and led to a lot of heartbreak, and on both ends actually, because it isn't easy to say no to some person that you have really fallen for as a person, and also as in my case as a woman, when I have had women in my life over a certain period of time. There can be years without actually going into a deep relationship. Now, I have an artistic brain. I would call it an artistic brain. It is a brain that is kind of on all the time. It's never off. It's never silent. And I also have the diagnosed ADHD and a little bit of hypomania, maybe tiny bit of bipolar disorder. And this cocktail is a very good tool if you put it into creative work and you do the right stuff and stuff like that. But when you fall in love, when this type of brain fall in love, it is just horrific. And the last time I was in love, was 10 years ago, and that was in a woman, woman that had some issues from her childhood and stuff, and she in the end acted in a very bad way, and it basically broke my heart for many years. And I gave up the whole thing. And then a little bit over a month ago, I met another girl on Tinder, which we kind of just talked and found a tone, and we met and we just clicked, and we had a lot of, cuddling, sex, pillow talk, all these things. And for her, it was actually the first time she really connected with a person on that level. So she kind of panicked and started running the other way because she couldn't deal with the feelings. And she also, the age difference is very big. I'm 53 and she's 25. Of course, she is a beautiful woman. If you met her, you will feel like she was much older. And I remember the first time I met her, I just thought, oh shit, she's out of my league, she's just so cute and such a woman. But after a while, we got to know each other, and we kind of saw that there was more to it than that. And the sad thing is that despite this has been a very nice ride, it doesn't seem to pan out to anything. But it also, I just wanted to say that, and it's a sad fact, sometimes you can't really get what you want, and that is just, how the universe is together, For two people to create a relationship, there is two people that has to actually come together and create something. And if one of them is a little bit reluctant, especially the woman, I think it's going to be a hard time to actually get it over to becoming something. Now, it's not done at this point totally, but I see that it is probably done. And that's okay, because it's kind of, you have to find that note. It's like it's like you end on the right notes. And there has been kind of back and forth, and we kind of, okay, that I thought, this is the note. Now, I stop now. And then things happen, and you are pulled back in, and I pull her in, and she pulled me in, and stuff, and back and forth, and it's really quite laughable, because we have had such a great, such a deep connection that it's really hard to let go, you know. And I wasn't looking for anything. I was content with my life. Now, in 2022, the 2 months of this year has been quite challenging for me. I had first I had COVID in beginning of December, and almost got my shoulder out of the socket because I hit the ice on a bike. And then I met this girl, and there's a COVID side effect that I really didn't know about, and that is hair loss. So in a month I've actually been in love with this girl, or loving this girl. I don't even know if I'm in love with her, to be honest, because we kind of jumped over that being in love thing and went to connection. Because in the beginning I wasn't in love with her like I was in the other girl or some of the others I've been in love with. It just went from I don't know what happened, to be honest. Anyway, there's a side effect to COVID, which is hair loss. And it starts about 2 months after, 2 or 3 months after you have had it. So while being in love, I started to shred my hair. Okay, I have kind of normal male pattern ball hair loss, but I always managed to keep it on there, and it kind of been a little bit curly and quite okay. But I lost basically 60% of my hair this last month. And when you have male baldness from before, you know, you can really see it. I see it starts to grow back now. I'm not going to say thank God, because I'm an atheist. Thank me, I have been treating it as good as I could, and I hopefully it will come back. So I've been dealing with this falling in love thing. I've been dealing with some other shit that happened in the beginning of January, which came in like a baseball right in my face that I didn't see coming. And then this and the hair loss and stuff. And my mother said something to me, because I've had so much going on for the last few years, a double hip replacement, all kinds of stuff been happening. And she said, you know, you really have managed to take a lot for the last years. And I thought about it, you know, I have been able to take so many things that have been thrown at me. Things that was my own fault, and things that came out from other people, and now this. And there's nothing worse than have your heart kind of broken. And I have such sympathy for also women and girls I've had in my life, as I said in the beginning, that I couldn't give myself to. And they have given me so much. And as I talked to my father today about this, I said, you know, I've had so much love from so many girls, so much intense love. And I've had so much sex. As I said to my father, I probably had more sex before I was 20 than most men has in a lifetime. So I have no complaints. I have nothing to complain about. And you just have to understand that you can't get angry on at somebody just because they can't give you what you want. Because it's an honest thing. It's the same thing I've been saying to her. You know, if you need to walk away, walk away. You don't owe me anything, okay? You're going to do the thing that is natural for you to do. And who the hell wants a woman in his life that doesn't really want you anyway? Or want you enough? Or they say there's a process in the grief process. You have the denial, you have the pleading and the anger, and it goes back in a loop. As a Stoic, and I'm reading a lot of Stoic philosophy, and it really makes sense, the anger part is just bullshit. The pleading part probably doesn't work. And you just have to kind of accept it for what it is. You just have to try to find that point where you walk away. And as I say, the problem is that my whole being, when I was in love 10 years ago, my whole being didn't want to walk away. And I don't want to walk away from this either. But at some point you just have to do it. But hopefully in a good way. And yeah, okay. Enough about that. The point here is that having a brain that is so intensely on all the time, in combination with the unbalance in dopamine and serotonin you feel while you're in love, makes life for an artist, or the artsy brain, or the hyperactive brain, almost impossible. It is so intense, and that is also why, I guess, when I look back, every time I've been in love with a girl, I scare them away. Because when I feel love, or are in love, my whole personality changes. I go from the alpha to the beta. And it's just sad. Because you change your personality in such a way that a woman starts to walk away from you. You become too much. You plead. I remember the other one, I bought her gifts and sent it to her in the mail, and I did all kinds of stuff, you know. And it all fell flat because you were showing the woman weakness. And if I should say one thing to any man that listens to this, if you fall in love with a woman, what you have to exercise doing is absolutely not showing it. And of course that is basically impossible, because the only thing you want is to show this girl the love, because you are drowning in it. I am drowning in it. I'm literally drowning in it. And it's just baffled me, because I know a lot about the brain, you know. I know how it works. I know all the dopamine, the serotonin. I know enough about the neurons, 100 billion neurons firing with chemistry and electricity and all these things. And I see, it's almost like I can see my brain from the outside acting exactly as I tell it not to do. I will say I had alcohol abstinence many years ago when I was drinking too much, like 2 or 3 times a week. And I had abstinence, and it was so hard not to open that bottle on a Friday night or whatever. And I was fighting like crazy. And as I said, I used about 5 years to get a problem, and I used 15 years to get it under control. But the abstinence you get from wanting that girl that you fall for, I would say it is like 10 times worse. I can't speak for people who are real alcoholics, who drink every day and can't really stop and are destroying their lives with it. But I do say that being in love is like cocaine high or heroin high or something like that, and that's exactly how it feels like. And it's so tragic, because you watch all these videos about what not to do, and this old system in your brain is just treating you like a puppet. You're just doing all the things that these videos say that you shouldn't do. Don't say that, you say it. Don't do that, you do it. And you get the abstinence. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. And then boom, you say it anyway. And it's just ridiculous. The whole thing is just ridiculous. And I think, as I say, having an artist brain, which has this unbalance, and she actually has the same type of brain, so that is quite funny, because that is also one of the reasons we clicked so well, because as she told me, I was like a older and wiser version of her, and that is actually a very nice compliment coming from such a sweet young girl, woman or girl. I'm not really sure when it comes to her, because she's kind of moving from being a woman to being a girl and then back again. And yeah, it's just fascinating. Anyway, maybe it's stupid of me to make this video. You probably see it, and I want her to see it actually, because we have a good relationship. We talk, so it's not a surprise to her that I say this. But the thing is that it's so irrational, because there was an author who said, I don't remember his name now, but love is kind of overestimate the egenskaper is Norwegian. Well, overestimate one person over another. And of course, that is actually why people fall out of love, because when they fall in love, they only see the good parts, and they only so driven by serotonin and dopamine and all that they don't really see the person. So many times it collapses. But when you come into this deep connection, and I love conversation, and so does she, and when you go so deep and you really connect, it's really hard to break free from it. It's just because, and you don't see it coming. I actually said that to her, that we can't do this. If you do this over time, you can't connect and not connect. You can't make love or have that deeper connection and then try to not have it at the same time. And I remember when I met her, one of the text messages she sent me, that she was kind of sick of all things just turning into sex, and with me she wanted a deeper connection. And that is exactly what we got. And then, you know, she kind of panicked in a way, and I probably acted like a pathetic child, you know. And it's just strange. I hope somebody can actually get something out of this. It's not scientific. It's just kind of a universal that people feel when they really like someone. So maybe I'm not even sure if I'm going to post this video. I'm going to look through it and see if it's just nonsense, which I right now think maybe it is. And the funny thing is, if I don't care beyond liking or connecting on a kind of friendship, mistress level, I'm cool. I'm me. I'm the strong Knut. But immediately, if I fall in love, as I said in the beginning, I just lose myself in it. And of course, the problem is also, if it was reciprocated, or go both ways, it will probably be the most beautiful thing in the world. It is just, my daughter is in a very good relationship, and she's in love and he's in love and they have a great relationship. Will it last? Who knows? Statistically, it's like 50-50. But as I've said to her, even if it turns to shit, try to remember the good things. Because you have no use for the bad things. Maybe as a way to if it should be something new in the future, that you have more knowledge, that you can actually see things coming, what is true, what is not true. But when it comes down to being loved, that is not what we care about anyway. We just want to be with that person. I say to my daughter, always have a suitcase in the closet that is yours. So if something happened, you have created a life for yourself, so you don't put everything in one basket. And I wouldn't like any woman. A woman I would have in my life, I would have thrived. I would have pushed her to become the best version of herself. I want her to be independent. I want her to be smart and content and do exactly what she wants to. I don't want to bear her existence on my shoulder. And I've had girlfriends in my life where I had to basically carry them around and be their mentor and their lover and their, you know, all that stuff. I also had friends which I actually loved, that bad dynamic were a part of it, and that never works out. So if you're gonna have a relationship, there has to be a balance, and the best balance is that you have your kind of separate things. I have my art. This girl is doing what's an English word again? Chemistry, and she kind of want to maybe study medicine, and I think that is a very smart and good idea, because you should actually use your life to do difficult things. Difficult things will build you. Struggle will build you. So there is nothing better than to do that. I have my painting, and that is, my painting is my life. I already have my life. I know what I want to see done before I die. I just have to bloody well start doing it. And I don't sleep good at night and think, oh, I created such good paintings 10 years ago or 5 years ago. No, no, no. It's always the next painting. And that is my true love. That is the kind of love that drives me to want to be in existence. If it wasn't for my painting, I actually have a problem understanding why I should be here at all. Maybe something else would take over, like writing or something like that, if I lost my hands or my eyesight or whatever. But the point is that my main base, my building block, is my painting. And that this girl, when we met, told me she almost envied my passion, because she didn't feel that passion for what she was doing. And it kind of surprised me, because she's a passionate girl, or woman, girl, yeah. And as I got to know her, we actually dig a little bit into it, and you can actually see that there is passion there. A lot of passion. You just have to kind of evolve it and get it out and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, I just want to make this video just talking about how it is, and the sadness. I have a deep sadness from all the, I did say that in the beginning, for all the girls that very nice women and girls that I had in my life, and I wasn't able to give back. I wish I could just choose. I wish I could just choose to give it to them, or her, or whatever. The one that supported me so much, the one that was my friend, my mistress, and I couldn't do it. And it feels really bad. It's just, You can't choose these things. And that is why you should never be mad for people not being able to give you everything. You should just shake hands, give a hug, and at some point you should just walk away and try to remember the good things. Of course, as I said in the beginning, if people treat you badly, you are in your right to be angry, but you can also think about it like this, that do they really know what they are doing? Do they really understand life? Do they have sympathy and empathy when they treat the person that are in love with you in a bad way? Does that person even have a soul? You know what I mean? Do that person who treats the person that are in love with them in a bad way, do they have any introspection at all? Because that is all what it's all about. It's all about introspection and sympathy and empathy, that you are able to understand what hurts people and what not hurts people. And if you know somebody are in love with you, treat them well. The best thing is actually to walk away if you can't give them what they want. But that might be difficult too, because maybe you love them a little bit anyway and go back and forth and all that. But as Sting say in the movie, no, in the song, if you love somebody, set them free. But then again, if you love somebody in this kind of romantic way, you of course want to be with them. But also, if you love someone, set them free. If you are in a relationship with somebody, set them free to do what they want, within reason, of course. I wouldn't like to see my woman have sex with other people. I'm a covetous person. I am not jealous, but I want my woman to be mine, and I will give my freedom to her. And that is kind of have to be reciprocal. Go both ways. It has to go both ways, and that is when you start. Jordan Peterson talks a lot about this in a talk about relationship, how to build a relationship. You have to have that one-on-one situation to really create a deep connection that lasts. And you have to have sympathy for the other person. I saw on Huberman, there's a podcast, he said there was a few telltales for that could actually predict that relationship basically dissolved. And one of them is ridicule. You ridicule your spouse. You have the lies, and you have different things that people do. Stonewalling, that you don't listen to people, that you don't listen to your spouse. Stonewalling is one of them. Telltale. If you stonewall all the time, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to talk about that, it will kill it, because it won't take long for you to lose the capability to talk at all, because there is so many hurdles to jump over. So yeah. Anyway, that was a long rant about this. And I want to wish you a Happy New Year. It's 2 months into the new year. And it's been a strange ride, the 2 months. January and February was really strange for me. Losing hair, falling in love, being heartbroken, trying to work, and some other shit that I'm not gonna reveal anywhere. But which is private. But what do you do? As he says in the first Batman movie, the trilogy, what do you do when you fall? You pick yourself up, and you become stronger, and you work harder, and you become deeper, and you get a deeper sense of self. Heartbreak is a good thing. It is challenging, and despite having this junk energy, you're really forced to think. And that is, yeah, that is basically why I, despite being sad, also feel kind of happy. Because I had actually kind of almost forgotten how this felt. And for her too, she had told me she had never felt anything like this before. And that is also a compliment. And she told me, you changed me forever. And I take that as a great compliment. I am the kind of person who will break down any door. I love conversation. I speak the truth as I see it and as I know it from science. I take no bullshit. And I always want to get to the bottom of things. I want to get to know people. And people tell me, I meet people randomly, I have conversations, some people told, a couple of people that I remember very much, told me, I never had this kind of deep conversation before. I've heard that said to me. And that is also a very good compliment that you should bring with me, because I love conversation, I love consciousness, I love life, I love the idea of consciousness. I think that every human being on the planet, wherever it lives, should be protected with every resource that you could muster. And it's actually tragic how we are treating each other, how we are abusing everything from prostitutes to children to waging war to killing with impunity, like Putin is now doing in Ukraine, which is of course a tragedy. I'm going to make another video for my other channel about that. But I want to make this about falling in love. The funny thing is that when I paint, I am in love all the time when I paint. And when I can't paint, I get distracted. It's almost like I have kind of a little bit of the same sorrow feeling. That is almost like a breakup. It's not that bad, but that is why painting isn't now something I do. It is basically something I am. And yeah. And if I never find love, if I never hook up with another girl, I'm 53 now, what is the chance actually? You know, it's getting smaller and smaller. And that is why I have to build a life from now on that it actually is based on my creativity. Because I don't know what is going to come in from the outside. I don't know if I'm ever going to meet a girl or be in a relationship. I don't know these things. I don't know when I'm going to die. Memento mori. Okay? I don't know what's going to happen. I could be dead in a year. I could have a tumor inside my stomach that would kill me in a year. I could have a brain tumor. I know a woman who had a brain tumor who almost killed her. Actually making a painting of her right now. Hedda Kies is her name. She's working in the Norwegian broadcasting company. And she had a brain tumor. It almost killed her. And she had to learn how to speak again. And I'm whining, you know. I just have to fix my hips and do the right thing with my brain. Not drink too much, not eat the wrong foods. I have, with ADHD and hypomania and these things, I really have to be careful with what I do, with what I eat and sugar and alcohol and the people I surround myself with. I really need to make things better on every level to be able to reach my goals, which is, as I said, my greatest love. That is my base. That is my main building block. You know, if you're gonna build You can't build a house on leaves. And yeah. Anyway, it was a nice ride. Falling in love again, in a way. And I just have to deal with it, you know. You just have to walk away. But this time I think it's going to be in a good way. It's not going to be in a bad way. It's going to end on the right note. I'm pretty sure. And if it didn't, that would be good. But as of now, I think the best outcome will be that it ends on a good note. And that is basically okay. Yeah. I just love these big cups. I think I drink so much coffee in a day that it would probably kill an elephant. It is, I can drink coffee right before, I can drink coffee in bed before I sleep. And so does my mother. I can have to have coffee to wake up. I have to have coffee. It's just crazy. Anyway, I again wish you a Happy New Year, and I hope you will do well. Maybe I'll do an update on... I'm actually doing a very nice painting of her, and I will probably do some more because I've taken some really beautiful photos. And I will post that on my YouTube channel later when I have finished it. One of the paintings I've been doing, starting now, is really nice, and that is that is also, I think, you know, being in love, yeah, and then making a painting of this subject or object or woman or girl or whatever, is almost like grabbing that time and holding it for as long as the painting exists. It's almost like the picture of Dorian Gray, you know. She will always be young in that painting. And I remember I gave a painting to that other girl too, a small portrait. There's actually a little video of it when I paint some details. She's a beautiful girl actually, and I gave it to her, and she was really pleased with that. So, you know, that is 10 years ago, and I'm glad I did, because at least I captured that moment. So, yeah. Okay, blah blah blah, as I always say. I talk too much and this became a long video. Some people like that, and some people think it's just bullshit, and that is fine by me, because I just want to say what I have on my brain, not my heart. So with this, I rest my case, and I hope you give a thumbs up, leave a comment, and tell me what you think, and what you would like to see in other videos, and blah 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 blah.